Hello guys, welcome back to Sp500. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. Hello guys, welcome back to Sp500. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. We're going to talk about the dollar. We're going to talk about the S&P 500. We're also going to talk about the Nasdaq. Okay, we're going to be crashing. Okay, we're going to talk about all of that good stuff. Okay, market is looking to find a temporary support. Just about like a 10K for BTC. So let's see if the bull is going to be able to hold mid-range, 10K mid-range. Okay, we're going to discuss the scenario of a possible pullback, even if we retest 10K area. So if you're new to our content, make sure to hit the likes, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. Hey, what's up, Jason? Chronic in the house. Hey, what's up, homie? Thanks a lot for tuning in. T-Dog in the house. Hey, what's up? Thomas Dog in the house. We got Abdullah in the house and all of that good stuff, right? So now let's take a look at the chart, right? So before we let's see. So before we basically even talk about a possible support at 10K, let's just talk about a possible before we talk about a possible support at 10.5, let's talk about a possible support at 10K. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the scenario I'm looking for. Even though I'm still bearish, okay, I'm looking for a possible support somewhere around 10K. All right, so I still believe like the bears are strong enough to break 10.5, right, and retest 10K area. However, all right, I'm not going to be extremely bearish, right, once we hit 10K. You see what I'm saying? It all depends. Like if we hit 10K in one go and break it, yes, okay, I'm still gonna stay in my short position. However, if we basically retest 10K and doesn't break it for like a few hours, few days, and so on, I'm definitely gonna basically look for another possible pullback right there above, like just about 10.9 to 11.1 again. It can basically, I don't want to give like an exact number, but we can retest this box again. And the reason why I'm saying it is like we played it last year similarly with BTC. Basically retested first at retested 95 right there, okay, pump back up to 10.9, right, and drop right back to 10.9. And I was telling my guys we're gonna pump back up to 10.9, so we basically gonna open up a short right there and let it drop all the way down to 7K, right? So we could possibly, all right, market could possibly remember this structure, and they're gonna basically look for another pullback once we retest 10K. So not saying it is gonna play out perfectly like this. Okay, I'm still bearish. It really doesn't matter, right? So I'm still bearish even if we pump back up to 10.9. It is still a bearish setup. It is just gonna give us another structure, just like the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P 500. A dump, a push to the upside, a drop down, another push to the upside. You can see. I'm gonna show you the S&P 500 right now, and you can see like basically the S&P 500 is and Nasdaq. They're basically replicating the same structure. So you take a look at the S&P 500. We dumped down, right, beautifully, and three-way move pullback. And I was like, last week I was telling you guys we're gonna make this move to the downside, and you can see it. We basically still dropping. So most people are gonna be like, oh, we starting to make a high lows and all of that good stuff. I was telling you, don't fall for that high lows and all that good stuff. Pay attention to the macro trend. The bigger trend, not macro, but the bigger trend is signaling a further move to the downside, right? So if you go back to BTC, you can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. We could possibly replicate the same move. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. Don't be overly bearish. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I see. But the current structure is bearish. Okay, the move we got right there, it is pretty much just a bear flag. Yes, if you want to zoom in, like on a lower degree, you might be saying, oh, we got a triple bottom, quadruple bottom, higher lows, you're gonna get wrecked. Most bulls gonna get wrecked with this move. Okay, they're gonna be like, oh, we're making high lows, high lows, high lows. We're gonna push to the upside, bang. Okay, so just be cautious. Be cautious in that regard. All right. So now let's take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So Bitcoin on a weekly basis, still not looking so great. So the good news, I told you, like the weekly was pretty engulfing already, right? During my last live stream, I said the weekly time frame is pretty engulfing. So we could possibly get low volatility. Okay, we already got the high volatility from like a 10.9 all the way down to a mid 10K. So we could possibly get low volatility for the rest of the week, just about like a 10K area. So yeah, I would be very, very cautious. As I said it when we first retested 10K, I was like, we're gonna be pushing back up 50% of this body candle, right? Right there. And I showed you in multiple setups why BTC was, basically was very strong and not strong like in a macro view, but like short term, was kind of strong for a possible pushback up to 10.9 to 11K, and we did that exactly. So make sure to hit the likes. Make sure to basically subscribe if you haven't done so. If you already subscribed and hit the likes, just ensure you're already in in the Telegram group, right? Say what's up, Jason? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Tuna melt. Tuna in the house, man. SXP is dumping very, very, very badly, but remind me later on after we talk about the dollar and Sp500 and all of that good stuff. Remind me about SPX, and we're gonna talk about it. So guys, let me know what you think about BTC. If you're bullish, right, above 10.5, let me know. If you're bearish below 10K, let me know, because most people like Tanvay are pretty bullish right now and doesn't think like BTC has any chance to basically dump below 9K. 3% chance, if I remember well. I was watching his last update, right? So he said 3%. So that's a good news, at least for the bulls. It means like some people are extremely bullish, and we could possibly see BTC breaking to the upside if that's the case, right? But my personal view is like I'm still looking for lower numbers. You guys know what I'm looking for, and let's see if BTC going to be able to do it. All right. So we talked about the weekly. Let's go back to our basically 3 weeks chart, right? The 3 weeks chart, we basically been waiting for this setup over the last few months. Okay, we said we're gonna need only one thing, okay, to be 99% bearish. Okay, I know that's pretty aggressive, but if Ton is 97% bullish, I can be 99% bearish, right? So because he said bulls only got bears only got 3% chance to drop the price to 7K, right? So the 3 weeks chart, I'll give you guys a special update. Bang, okay, 14K, bang, right there back in March, April 2018, right? As you can see, we got another one right there, just about like July, August 2018, right there, before the bear flag, bang. Okay, so we're replicating the same exact structure, right? So my expectation is clear, right? Even though I'm open for a possible push to the upside, even to up to 12K. So most people are gonna get wrecked. Most bulls gonna get wrecked if BTC pump to 12K, which is basically the same thing we could anticipate in this area. I don't think we're gonna do it, but if we do it, it is still going to be bearish because the setup going to be pretty much similar. All right. So that's why it is very good to zoom out and be open-minded, right? Even though, guys, once again, I'm bearish, okay, but I'm open to a possible push to the upside. That's why I'm basically putting a stop loss. If we hit 10K, I'm just gonna basically bring down stop loss just in case, okay, the bulls on the 3 weeks chart gonna spike to the upside and gonna pump the price to the upside up to 12K. But that's a 3 weeks chart, not a not on the hourly basis. All right, so that's pretty clear. Engulfing candle, yeah, if you take a look at it on the monthly looking very, very bad. The only thing the bulls can do right now on the monthly basis is try to close above the monthly open, just about like 11.7. okay, if they can close above 11.7, over the next let's say over the next 7 days, right, that could basically give them a lot of momentum, for October and so on, right? So volatility, once again, going to be all over the place, right? If we retest the 211 EMA on a weekly basis and have to decide what we're going to do over the next let's say the last 3 days of the month, it is going to be extremely volatile. It could decide which way you're gonna go, right? So for October, November, and December, basically the last quarter. So monthly bulls gonna need to basically close above 11.7, and any close below 10K on a monthly basis going to be actually very aggressive move for the bears. All right, so now let's take a look at the lower degree once again before we move on to the S&P 500. Lower degree, nothing has changed, right? Since like we basically talked about our move to the downside a couple of days ago during our live stream, we said we're still looking for another move to the downside, but volatility could decrease. Okay, so we still got 1, 2, 3. This could be wave number 4, and we could get a wave number 5 to the downside, which could be a possible ending diagonal, just like the one we got in this area. And once again, most people love head and shoulder pattern formation, so they're going to call for this head and shoulder pattern formation. But I'm going to be very cautious. Okay, I'm going to be very cautious, especially if we're going to be making a some sort of wedge or ending diagonal in this range. I'm going to be very cautious, and look for a possible fake out, right? I'm not going to be like going long as soon as we drop down to like a 10K to a 98 range. I'm just going to be let the price moves sideways for a couple of hours, couple of days, just like this. Okay, just to decide if we're going to be able to pump above the 21 EMA again, and try to get another fake out. But if you try to spot up, try to pick the bottom and buy exactly at a very specific price level, you're most likely going to be in trouble. Okay, most traders not patient enough to wait for like let's say from the 3rd, okay, to the 8th, right? Almost like 5-7 days, right? It took almost 2 weeks, guys, to break this 21 EMA. So if you want patient enough, right, you're gonna get very frustrated. Okay, that's why when we long it right there, we did say just put a stop loss away below like 96, right? Put it at 94, right? So you're not gonna worry about like any wicks. Yes, you're not safe. Okay, in this market no one is safe, but at least you're gonna have it somewhere where you're gonna be like, okay, if I get kicked out, it's like market really wants to kick me out. Not like I'm putting it like 97 or 96, stuff like that. Okay, put it right there, just about 94, and then move out. Let market do the work. Okay, so just like what we did right here, okay, we basically showed it 10.9 to 11.1, spot on. Price hit like a 11.1 something, right? But we did not worry because stop loss was right there at 11.6. Guess what? Was pretty crazy. Most people have been panicking because you got your stop loss too close to the to the price. market gonna be making too much noise and you're gonna be zooming in on like a 15 minutes hourly time frame, you're gonna be panicking. Okay, you're gonna be panicking. And one thing as a trader we all gotta remember is like number one thing is like patience, right? Number two is like when market is moving in one direction, it is either going to be bullish or it is going to be bearish. It is what it is. Okay, if market is moving up, the only thing you can say is market is very, very bullish. Okay, when market is moving down, the only thing you can say is market is very, very bearish. So if you zoom in too close, right, you're gonna be like, man, that's too bullish. Okay, right? And if you zoom in too close also, you're gonna be like, that's too bearish. So you just always have to zoom out to at least 4 hour time frame. Okay, I like to use a 6 hour and higher, but at least on the 4 hour time frame, if you zoom out, you can you can basically see the bigger picture. All right, so now basically one thing we just did not talk about yet is like the weekly MACD. Okay, so weekly MACD is crossing down. I'm pretty sure most bulls gonna ignore it, right? So it is something, I think Jason mentioned it in one of my previous video, right? I did not get the chance to mention it. I'm clearly paying attention to it. So closing below this range really doesn't matter afterward, because we can close below this, we can close negative and price can still pump back up without basically getting another crossover. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to be very cautious, because even though we can close negative, price can still pull back up. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, be open-minded for any possible fake out to the upside. Okay, even though I'm staying on my on my trend. Okay, so we got 11 likes, we got 33 watching. Thanks a lot, guys, for hitting the likes, right? Alonzo says this weekend will be bullish. Buy now or you're gonna regret it later. So let's see. So that's the good news for the bulls. We're gonna get a bullish weekend, so make sure to buy the dip. Okay, according to Alonzo. All right, so now let's take a look at the S&P 500, guys. So before we come back to BTC, so the S&P 500, like the weekly basis, my most bearish setup, long-term bearish setup, is like I'm gonna be looking for this range of 0.618 to 50% pullback. Market loves to come back down to 50% to 0.618, and at the same time on the weekly basis, you can see like back in April, May, first week of May, we got a nice sideways correction. Okay, so this range going to become a very, very important area for the bulls. They got to be able, if we break this weekly 200 EMA, they got to be able to basically find temporary support right there. Otherwise, things can become very, very nasty afterward. Weekly 200 EMA, very, very important level of support. Okay, we broke. Let's take a look at the daily. So the daily 100 EMA, we already retested it. We talked about it a couple of days ago. We said if we drop down, look for the 3200 range, right? We did retest 3200 range, just like what we did right there. And right there, we're doing it again. Lost the 21 EMA. That's very bad on the daily basis. So we basically, bulls basically, starting to get weaker and weaker. So just keep that in mind. 12 hour, we first got a double bottom on the 12 hour, but I was like, okay, do not be too bullish once we get the triple bottom, because once we get the triple bottom, we just have to switch on our Elliott wave formula, right, and look for this flat correction. We got this move. It is just a bear flag. Okay, so but bulls, as you know, they're always gonna find a very good argument to say, hey, that's a triple bottom. But don't look at the market always like as a triple bottom. It is like you have to pay attention to other indicators. You just have to pay attention to other other setups. All right, that's why whenever you see a triple bottom, you just have to be cautious, okay? Because a triple bottom could be a possible, let's say, drop, right? You got your flat correction, right, with a possible low high, and then your triple bottom right there could possibly be even a fake out for a descending triangle, okay? So that's why you just want to wait for confirmation before you jump in, okay? So it is something you got to be able to keep in mind. As you can see, most bulls gonna be saying, hey, look at this. Over the last 24 hours, we've been looking good, like, keep making high lows, but bang, look at this. Okay, so now the next argument for the bulls is like, if we don't break this low, right, we're gonna be behind the dip. Okay, but guys, pay attention to this. Okay, this range could be very, very, very nasty to trade. One thing the bulls got to do is just stay away. Okay, stay away from this range. Let the bears control the market and let them get tired of dropping the price, right? They're gonna get exhausted at some point. They could be in this range forever. You just don't know how long. Okay, it could be a nice triple bottom in this range, right? And then I'm gonna break it, start making high lows, right, in this range, and you're gonna be like, bam, okay, we're gonna be flipping. All right, so in terms of a wave analysis, once again, this could be a very, very long trend, okay? For the bearish setup down to 0.618, we could be anticipating a possible ABC correction down, right? We already showed you like the bearish setup to the downside down to like a 0.618, but in terms of wave analysis, I'm going to show you how we could get there. Okay, so we could be getting like this zigzag formation with this C wave being like a 5-way structure down. Okay, and this could take us all the way down right there. Okay, this could possibly take us all the way down to 50% to 0.618, right, which is just about this range. Okay, this could be a very, very elongated C wave right there. But let's just be conservative and say, hey, we're gonna find support just about at 382. Okay, so 382 going to be in this range. So we could possibly find a temporary support even before we talk about 0.618, because it is going to be very boring if we just going to drop straight down to 0.618. All right, so let's just focus on 382 first thing first. All right, before we talk about like a 2600 range. So 3000 area going to be our main focus, and after that we're going to talk about like what type of other structure we could get, because you can get so many different structures in this range. Okay, we could drop, make a head and shoulder pattern formation. That's very possible. This could itself be just a wave one, not even a possible ABC correction. It could just be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wave down. We just don't know. Okay, we just have to analyze the market as we seeing it, right, instead of basically just try to anticipate so many different structures. But I'm just giving you a heads up, what we could get. But as of now, I'm just saying like it is corrective. Okay, it could possibly be impulsive later on, but as of now, the drop is just corrective. Okay, so if you don't understand the difference between impulsive and corrective, maybe you need to review your Elliott wave perspective and all of that good stuff, right? Just to summarize it, corrective means like this move. Okay, the initial move, this move is only correcting based on this initial pump, right? So, and it means like we're going to be pushing higher. However, if it is impulsive, it means this move is not just a counter trend, right, but it is a reversal. You see what I'm saying? Because any other move we're going to get to the upside going to be corrective, right, correcting this move. You see what I'm saying? So it is very, very important. So when you count, like when you say 1 2 3 4 5, you gotta understand what you're saying. That's why most people, they just draw 5-way structure and you don't know what they're talking about. Because if I just jump in and say, you know, 1 2 3 4 5, and I say this is corrective, right? It means like basically has to do another 3-way move and another 5-way move to get an entire basically correction. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to cover for the S&P 500. However, let's take a look at the Nasdaq, see if we can find any bullish setup, because last time I checked it, it was not that bullish. Okay, so Nasdaq, same thing. The same setup. We brought the trend line right on a 12-hour basis, and we basically you take a look at it right there. We got similar structure. I'm very, very confident about this structure. I showed you like last time, and I was like 80%. Okay, you got 80% chance this 80 to 90 sometime, right? I don't want to be too aggressive, but 80 to 90% at a time, you're gonna see like this structure playing out perfectly. We drop, right, push back up, and bull's gonna be like, oh, that was a bear, bear trap, and now we're gonna be basically looking for some move to the downside. So pretty much the same setup as the S&P 500. Let's see, next support, temporary support, is going to be 10.5. All right, so we push back up to 11.2, pretty much very engulfing, so that's not good at all. So let's see over the next few hours what we're gonna get, but most likely, guys, we could easily retest 10.6 to basically 10.2 area. So macro support, right, it is going to be roughly same thing. Okay, it is going to be roughly around like 97.20, which is like a 382, and 90, take a look at 382 was exactly previous high. Okay, 97.50 was that previous high right there, which is exactly at 382 pullback. Hey, what's up, AJ? BTC holding very strong at 10.5. Yes, it is holding very strong at 10.5. So basically 97.50 going to be holding very, very, very strong. If the drop if like we continue to drop from the current range, okay, similar to the S&P 500, just could possibly just be a 1 2 3 in a ABC correction move. All right, and once we break it, we could start talking about like impulsiveness, right? But as of now, I'm just saying like market is correcting. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at gold. So if you take a look at gold, I showed you guys what I'm looking for gold, 1850 to 1825. And it is something we talked about it. We talked about this structure before. I showed you the exact fractal between the gold and dollar, right? And I showed you like last week, we got this move from the dollar, and I was like, gold is making the same structure. What do you expect, right? We got this structure from the dollar like a couple of months ago, back in May, from like March, right, to May. The dollar, been moving sideways, bang, okay. And you take a look at gold, similar structure, and I was expecting this move down. So I'm looking for this green box for a temporary support, right? Just because we got this 3-way move down, all right? So we could find a temporary support from gold, just about like low 1800. I'm saying like 1825 to 1850, but we could even look for this range of 382, which could be somewhere around like 1812. Okay, 1812, right? So, but bulls, once again, they're gonna find a very, very good argument, right? Oh, we just retested the low right there, so we got a support. We're gonna be pushing to the upside. So even any move to the upside, okay, if we get any push to the upside, it could just be a small correction, okay, because this move is pretty not engulfing, but it is pretty pretty strong, right? Pretty volatile and very impulsive. So let's see if we're gonna get a small correction from this range. But once again, it is just going to be a correction, right? So now let's go ahead and talk about the dollar. So one thing is very, very important for the dollar. We just gotta keep in mind, even though the dollar is pushing to the upside, DXY is pushing to the upside. I don't see like a strong bull case for the dollar. All right. Once again, we did talk about the dollar back in when the dollar was in this range, guys. You guys remember when the dollar was first dropping back in the first week of August, right? The dollar was right there, and we called for this move to the upside and the move to the downside afterward, right? We said it is going to continue. However, just because we're going to continue to drop, it doesn't mean it's going to drop forever. It could just be a start of a falling wedge or a ending diagonal. You just don't know. So that's why when you get a very impulsive move to the downside and you got a flat correction, yes, you can say we're going to be dropping lower, right? However, you just have to be very cautious, because you can drop lower just to get an ending diagonal. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, just be cautious. I know the dollar is dropping. Most people are going to be bullish on BTC and the market. We could possibly be making an ending diagonal and pushing to the upside, and that's what we're doing exactly if you take a look at it, right? So let's now pay attention to the higher time frame, right? Because we basically, back in August, I spotted the bullish divergence, right, on the 6-hour basis. As soon as we got this move to the upside, I was like, be cautious on the dollar. We got a beautiful bullish divergence. I think we're getting similar structure on Link. Okay, we got a beautiful divergence. However, on the daily, I don't see a divergence. Okay, I don't see a divergence on the daily. On the daily, all I see is just a reversal. As you can see, the daily, it is making lower low, right, and low lows. Okay, so no divergence on the daily. So this move could possibly be just a correction. It could possibly be just a correction, and the dollar can still double bottom later on, okay, to create this double bottom right there on the daily basis. So most people are just gonna jump in. The dollar is bullish, blah blah blah. But when we called for the dollar, reversal was like back in August, first week of August. So now it is just about like late September. I'm saying even though the dollar is bullish on the is starting to be bullish, it is still bearish. It is starting to be bullish, but it could create a bigger basically trend. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a very good example. The example I'm gonna show you is like right there. Okay, the bullish move we got back in just about like a September 2017, right there. Okay, we got this bullish move, but the dollar did drop back down, and guess what? Created a beautiful double bottom on our MACD, right? And we finally got a very strong trend after that, right? That's when we started the strong trend, right? So, but right now it's not a strong. I don't think it is a very strong case to say like the dollar gonna pump back up, yeah, right? Straight up. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to be very cautious once we basically hit certain key areas, right? Especially daily 100 EMA, which is right around like 95.07. So 95.07 going to be our next temporary resistance for the dollar. And most people are going to be like, most analysts are going to be like, oh, they might not be paying attention to the daily 100 EMA. They're going to be like, oh, we got rejected. We're just going to drop back down and retest previous resistance. It is now going to act as a support, and this sucker gonna drop all the way down. Okay, and they're gonna find another good argument like, hey, we're retesting previous low, which is like 91. We're gonna be basically pushing to the upside. This sucker gonna drop lower and create a very big divergence, all right, on a daily basis. So it is something to keep in mind. What's YFL? I don't know YFL. You mean YFI? Hey, what's up? Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in. George. Thanks a lot for tuning in, George. So now we talk about the dollar, we talk about gold, we talk about BTC. We basically talk about everything. The only thing we didn't talk about yet is like AG, right? So now let's talk about silver. So silver basically following gold, right? And I think we talk about the low 2250 for silver. Not let's see. Let's go back to the setup for silver. Not too bad. Okay, so you can see like the setup we talked about for silver was like 2250, and I showed you clearly, right? Pay attention to your daily 100 EMA right there, and previous resistance going to be acting as a support. We just dumped all the way down to 22. Today's low is like 22.8. Okay, so we almost at support area, so we could possibly wait for a couple more days, right, to let silver either move sideways, right, or either continue the downtrend, because target was like 22.5, right? Silver was roughly around like almost 26 and so on, right? Same setup as gold. Okay, so not looking good at all for silver. Not looking good at all for silver. Let's take a look at the weekly. So when you take a look at the weekly 211 EMA, just about a 22.5. So that's the good news for the bulls. We could get a temporary support at the weekly, weekly 211 EMA support area. Going to be roughly around $18 next support level. Okay, so next resistance absolutely going to be right there at 26. Okay, so we can forget about the descending triangle formation and just focus on support and resistance right now. So support weekly 100 EMA slash previous resistance. Okay, so resistance going to be 26, low 2600, not 2600, $26. So basically we already talked about everything we needed to talk about. Let's just now go ahead and talk about Ethereum. And so Ethereum, for my premium group, what I was looking for Ethereum was like 337 to 328. We already hit 327, right? So but price is basically making a bear flag. We could easily hit like 327. We already hit like roughly around like a 330, so give or take. Okay, and when we basically spotted this target, Ethereum was almost like 379 to like a 380 range. Okay, that was resistance area, and we said next support going to be in this range. So if you've basically been very bullish and following the price closely, you most likely miss the drop. Okay, because Ethereum basically been in this range of 380 to 385 for like 5 days. Okay, so if you're not patient enough to wait for 5 days, you would be long in it, and this sucker gonna reverse on you. So it is something like you just have to be very patient to get these targets, right? So once again, next support level for Ethereum going to be 270 level, right, which is 1.27 to 1.41 extension, which is right around this area. So I don't need to basically do anything for Ethereum, because I know if this move going to be a double bottom, if we drop down, I just have to basically look for possible sideways correction between 1.27 to 1.618, but mostly mid-range going to be 1.27, which is like 280. So look for a possible retest of 280. Okay, regardless of what BTC is going to be doing, especially if BTC is going to break 10k and trying to find support at 98, 96 range, that could possibly push the bears to be very strong and be very confident about like a breaking like this range of $300. Okay, so that's the next level of sideways correction I'm looking at. Not saying not looking for an exact number. I'm just looking for a correctional move right there. All right, so it could be a float, it could be a triple bottom, it could be triangular formation. I really don't care right now, but I'm just looking for the range. Okay, 290 to 265 level. So for Ethereum, now let's take a look at Ethereum on a weekly basis. So I was just messing with the bulls this morning, and I was like, oh, Ethereum bear market gonna look like this. Okay, so I don't think it will, but let's just keep that in mind. I was just messing with the bulls in the Telegram group. So we take a look at Ethereum. One key moving average I love about Ethereum is like the 25 weekly moving average. We're still above it. So, and as I always say, okay, if we push above this pink, not pink, man, purple, right? This purple line, we above it, Ethereum is bullish. Below it, Ethereum is extremely bearish. So, and I used it a couple of times, okay? This year, early like January, I was bearish on BTC, so I was forced to be bearish on Ethereum. But after we pump about like 190, I was like, guys, let's just suck it up. So we long Ethereum from like a 190 all the way up to like a 280. So, and right around this area also, I was like, I was like, okay, if we already above it, right? So, and I was like, okay, if we break like a 215, right, we're gonna go long all the way up, right? However, Ethereum did not close like right at 215 on the weekly basis. On this candle, it closed like above it, like right there, and I was like, oh, look at this sucker. Okay, so but above it, it is bullish. Okay, below it, it is bearish. Okay, and I'm not sure if Ethereum gonna drop all the way down to the 290 and find a support and give us a chance to basically be very confident about like Ethereum dropping all the way down, not down that much, but all the way down like to some support level, right? But let's just see, if we break it, it is going to be absolutely bad for the bulls. All right, so that's a weekly 25 MA, weekly 25 moving average, very consistent, right? I only use it for Ethereum. I mostly don't use it for anything else. All right, so because it only applies to Ethereum, right? You can see it like February 2018, right? As soon as we broke it, pumped down, previous resistance was like roughly around like 380, 370. We pumped back above, just above the 25 MA, just to get rejected all the way down to like a December 2018, and managed to pump all the way back up, drop back down. As you can see it right there, found the support, bang. Okay, so this range, we were like, okay, let's just take it to the upside. Okay, we took it to the upside from like a because I was trying to short it at 170, and I was like, okay, I don't want to basically fight the trend. So 170, 180, right? And then we flip like at 180, we flip all the way up to 280 and so on. So hey, what's up, Spencer? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. It's been a while. So let's just keep that in mind over the next few weeks. If like Ethereum breaks like 300 on a weekly basis, that will create a bigger panic for the bulls. Okay, and one thing also we gotta keep in mind, most people have been calling for I don't know what you're calling for Ethereum. Let me know if you think Ethereum gonna hit $800 this year or not, right? But over the last 3 years, Ethereum is only up like 10%. Okay, so if you follow the price action, right there, September September 2017, right? Ethereum was just, it closed at 311, I think 300, 301, 303. Okay, if you go back to like right there, okay, September low was like 196, right? Almost $200, right? So are we going to be basically closing below $200 September 2020? You know, that's not good at all. In, over like 3 years, guys, Ethereum is still around $300. Okay, so if you're looking for like a $10,000 Ethereum, it means you're gonna be waiting for a very long time. It is just my personal opinion, right? Because you gotta remember, okay, most analysts been calling for this move. They said Ethereum gonna go to 10,000. We got this move. They said Ethereum gonna go to 10,000. We got this move. Once again, they're saying it's gonna go to 10,000. And guess what? We've been saying Ethereum gonna drop back down, and Ethereum gonna drop back down, and Ethereum gonna drop all the way back down. So we at least been right over, many times over the last few months, right, about Ethereum. But the bulls, they just don't know, like, they just don't pay attention to the macro structure. All they want to do is like saying, hey, we're going to go to the upside, we're going to go to the upside. Man, you can't go to the upside forever. Yes, you cannot drop forever neither. But however, if BTC retests like a low, 3 to 4K, I'm going to be extremely bullish on Ethereum. Even if Ethereum doesn't hit my target, right, below $100, I don't care. If BTC hit 3 to 4K, that's it. Regardless of Ethereum price, if Ethereum finds support at 150, 180, and so on, I don't care, right? I'm gonna be bullish on Ethereum. But my personal target, okay, according to the chart, is like $50, right? Give or take, okay? Could be even 65, 75, really doesn't matter, okay? Just talking about like price range. It is going to be this range for Ethereum, okay? And if we cannot break 300 in 3 years, okay, I don't think it is hard enough to basically retest $50, all right? It's not going to be hard enough to retest $50. I know most of the doom boys are gonna come out and say, hey, yeah. So let me know what you guys think, okay, about BTC. Let's go back to BTC. Still holding very strong. I don't like this weekly 25 MA on BTC. So it's been pretty consistent on BTC, but it is better on Ethereum. So, but even if you want to apply it on BTC, I mean, it's pretty valid. Like, after we broke it like back in 2018, you can see like we never basically made a get a strong uptrend since like, until basically we broke it like at 4K area back in March. And I was pretty bullish back in March, right, 2018. I was giving you guys big warning in this range, okay, and saying, we're gonna be pushing to the upside up to 6K area, and basically was like 3K, guys. So when people basically not believing like BTC can drop 50%, they just not been following the market long enough, right? Not following the market long enough. But mostly I don't use it for BTC. But if we apply it on BTC, that is still a very strong argument. Like we could, if we break it, we could possibly see very low numbers. But it is still just about like 10K, right? Let's not try to apply it on BTC because it'll make us very bearish. It'll make us very bearish. So right now the two strongest alt basically Monero and Tether. Okay, they are the most strongest alt right now. They're not dropping as the rest of the alt. So Monero, not sure if most of you guys been following Monero, but I talked about it last time. To basically put stop loss above 97. You can see like it wicked to the upside, and that's what I was afraid of. Try to you know, basically hit your stop loss above like, you know, 95, but you know, it did not basically pump all the way up to 98. So if you have it at 98, you're still gonna be okay. You still you should be in the trade. Monero, I'm being conservative, looking for 78 to 75, right? So but the next one, it is going to be Tether, right? Looking very, very strong. Looking very, very strong for now, right? So I don't have any position on it. I'm watching it closely, right? Looking for it to break 8-hour 21 EMA. Actually 12-hour, okay? Looking for it to break a 12-hour 21 EMA. In order to basically start to look bearish, but it is still looking very strong. MACD is not giving us a basically a divergence yet. It means like price can retest, just do something like Monero and retest like 60 cents or even higher. So if you're in a position for Tether looking for it to short it, you just have to basically suck it up, right? Either wait for it to break a 21 EMA on 12-hour, or basically wait till it wicks to the upside, right? And then you can basically follow the crowd, and you know, basically follow the bears and drop the price lower, just about like, you know, first week of September. Okay, the first week of September prices were like mid 37s. Okay, mid 30 cents. 37 to 38. So bears gonna get a very good argument like for a possible drop if we retest like this range and create a divergence. As of now, we don't have one, okay, on at least on the 12-hour time frame, right? And on the daily also, because if you don't have a divergence on your daily time frame, you most likely don't have a divergence on your if you don't have a divergence on your 12-hour time frame, you most likely don't have a divergence on your daily. Okay, you can see right there. Or you could look left and apply this move, right? So that's a very strong argument. But in terms of like this range for a rejection, just about like 58 to 60 cents, we don't have a divergence. But if you basically pay attention to August 23rd high, right, we got a, you know, beautiful divergence. So that's a pretty solid you know, argument we could possibly see bears making and drop the price over the next few days and so on. All right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. If you guys don't have any coins you want to talk about, I'm just gonna call it a day. So you know, I make the live stream short enough so other people can watch it later on, right? So one thing we also did not talk about last time was like I think we talked about the total 2, right? So total 2 altcoins, they basically got a nice, I talked about it last time, right, when we got this wedge, and I was like, alt, they're looking very bad. They're looking very bad. It is basically the same chart as Ethereum, right? We broke the wedge, and now alt, you know, could be facing lower numbers, right? And something you got to remember, guys, March lows, okay, for alt, you know, market cap was like 37 billion. Okay, so, and right now we above like 120, okay, 119, 120 range. So if alt going to be dropping all the way down, guys, to 37 billion or even like 40 billion, guys, that's very bad. That's another 60%, over like 60% drop. That's, I mean, 80 billion market cap, we're gonna lose it, okay, if Alt gonna drop that low. So I know last time we dropped that low was like March, and then basically the last time before that was like first week of December 2018. So it's not going to be easy if we're going to be dropping all the way down, because most of these DeFi coins already dropping like 50, 60, 70%, and we're not even yet right at these levels, okay? And especially if you're anticipating Ethereum to hit like a $50 and so on, it means like total market cap gonna drop all the way down below $37. Could drop below like a 20, not $37, but 37 billion. Could drop below like a roughly around like a 16 to a 20 billion. But that's a long-term view. The picture is pretty clear, right? On the macro scale, we still got this move. Okay, we're gonna look for this move. Could it be a possible triple bottom? Yes, it could be, but at least within the next few weeks, we're just gonna keep paying attention to it and see what we're gonna get. All right. I can do any charting on Uni. We just got Uni. So Link is, let's take a look at gas first and Link. So gas, let's go back to gas. Gas is very undecided right now, right? It is one of the strongest coin right now, okay? Just like Monero and Tether. It is still within the same triangular formation, not breaking it. It's just moving up and down, getting rejected. We just got to get the breakthrough and break this range, right? On a 3-day basis, we slightly getting rejected by the 100 EMA, and we know if we can close above like 19,000, that's it. It could fly, okay? It could fly very fast, but it could be very quick also, because market is looking to reverse. So even if we pump, it could be like a 24 to 48 hours pump. I'm not saying it will, right? But I don't see like gas just going against the market like for like a 2, 3, 4 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So it could just be 48 to just like storage, or like a who else, ELF, something like that. Okay, a 24-hour pump, 200% pump, right? That is very, very possible. But the good news for gas is like support level, we're still above support level, still making, just like the bulls love to say, we're making higher lows. Okay, so now let's take a look at land first, because I'm still on my land position, right? So I did close my dot position, right, and focus on my Monero, added more on my Monero position, but I'm keeping my land position, right? So it is still, you guys remember land, I showed you like during the last live stream, and I was like, I'm very confident this setup could possibly play out beautifully. Like we got this flat correction, we're gonna be looking for this move, right? So whenever I see this setup, I love to take it, right? So we took it all the way down to like 44, right in this range. I'm still in. I'm not even like doing anything. I'm just gonna wait, because we could possibly make another setup similar to it, right? So we could make this move, drop down, even still push back up, and then go down, right? So, but if you want to play the range, all the 1%, 2%, you're gonna lose focus. Okay, you're gonna lose focus unless you got a special account. Yes, if you get a special account, you can do that, right? But once I make a long-term, like not long-term but short-term trade, I just like to wait and for full maturity and before basically doing too much in and out, right? If I'm gonna close a position, I'm just gonna close a position completely, right, and look for something else, right? Just like I did with DOT, I closed 50%, open up Monero short, right? But afterward, I decided just to leave it alone and wait for it to give me a better correction, right? So, but land still very corrective in this range. So let's take a look at Link. So Link, just like the dollar, right? I showed you the dollar recently. Let's take a look at 6 hour. So Link, just like the dollar, I'm not saying like it will reverse right now, but we started to see a bullish divergence on a 6 hour basis, right? So one thing we need, it could possibly just give us a corrective move right there and give us basically a ending diagonal. Okay, so that's something like you just got to keep in mind. Just because we basically getting a divergence and we hit like a support area, which is like our primary support. I said it when Link was like almost like, guys, $13. It is going to be 7-8 daily, 2-day 100 EMA. We hit it last night. Okay, exactly right there. So when you got like so many people focusing on Link, right? Oh, we're going to the moon and we're going to the moon and all of that good stuff. I updated this chart like just yesterday, but I talk about like Link dropping down to 2-day 100 EMA when Link was like almost like $12-13, guys. So we just hit it spot on. So what I'm looking for is like sideways correction, and next resistance for Link going to be our 2-day 21 EMA. Okay, it is going to be the 2-day 21 EMA. It is going to be approaching over the next few days. So that could also, create some bullish sentiment for Link bulls, right? They're going to be like, oh, we're going to be going to the moon and all of that good stuff, right? But we got another secondary support just about like 5.8 to 3.8 range. Okay, so that's going to be our next secondary support once we get rejected right around like $11 to $10, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? Hello from Bit Mexico. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Bit Mexico. So I think we got some Bit Australia too, like Buzz in the house, probably. So, all right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. We talk about BTC, we talk about gold, we talk about Sp500. We talk about Nasdaq, we talk about Link, we talk about land, Monero, Tether, gas, and all of that good stuff. All right. So SXP, let's talk about SXP. I think somebody's asking about subquarter, asking about SXP. So swipe. Okay, swipe. It broke like market structure. So right now it is hard to say like if we're gonna get reversal on a higher time frame, right? So we could possibly give it like a few more days to give us a setup, but right now, if you take a look at it on Binance, the best thing I can do, right, is like a swing low to a swing high, right, and look for 1.27 to 1.41. 1.27 going to be just about like $1, and 1.41 going to be like mid 80 cents. So, and 1.618 going to be just about 65 cents. So I would love to see some sideways correction in this range, right? Some, double bottom, triple bottom, a fake flat correction, stuff like that. But now I wouldn't be just jumping in and buying it on a daily basis. You see what I'm saying? Because I would be trying to catch like a falling knife, right? And that's not good at all. So when market is basically dropping or going one direction, you just don't want to try to jump in and try to go against it. It broke market structure. No need to basically be in rush, okay? Because sometimes you don't need to pray, hope, or wish in this market. All you have to do is just go with the chart. So, but if you're wishing like market to reverse right now and it's not showing you reversal, it's gonna create a lot of frustration. You're gonna be like, man, it's not moving. I know how it feels, okay? I know how it feels. So, and you're gonna be like, man, you're gonna be looking at the chart every 5 minutes, stuff like that. But it is what it is, okay? So kind of like my Monero short, right? I shorted Monero, got got out and shorting again. Okay, I know it's very frustrating, but I know if it moves on my way, it's going to be very juicy. I'd rather short Monero than short basically SPX, even though SPX is very bearish, right? It's moving down, but you're just going to be FOMOing because it's dropping. You see what I'm saying? The moment you know I needed to jump in was like right there. I had a setup for it, but I wasn't paying attention and I was focusing on too much stuff, and I did not basically take position on it. But I already had a position on land and DOT, Monero, BTC, so didn't want to basically take too many positions. But that's my take on swipe. Uniswap, I can't do anything about Uniswap. Sorry, man. It is just a I think it is just a just came out, right? So no charting. Let's take a look at it. I think it's on BTC, BREAKOUT. Uniswap, USDT, can find it. Yes, right there. I can find it on Binance. Take a look at it on KuCoin. Yeah, it's nothing I can do with this chart, man. So as you can see, Uniswap did give on the lower degree. Yes, if you want to basically, I can chart it right now. You got like a nice sort of a high lows, right? Like the bulls love to say, and we're going to the moon and all that good stuff, right? So what I would look for is look for a 0.618 pullback to 50% pullback. We already retested a 382, so 0.618 is right there. But do not fall for this cup and handle, all that good stuff, right? Because cup and handles, right, is just how you look at the chart, right? So for instance, if I want to look at this chart as a cup and handle, I just have to zoom in, right? On 30 minutes or even 15 minutes, right? And you're going to be like, look at this, it's going to be a cup and handle, right? We're going to retest this range, right? And then we're going to do this and we're going to do that, right? I seen that somebody sent me a chart on for I think was a wave, okay, and I saw it, but it is all like how you want to look at the chart, okay? If you want to look at the chart on the 15 minutes, you're going to get a cup and handle, right? You're going to be like, oh, we're going to get this cup, blah blah blah. Always zoom out, okay? Zoom out, because you're not going to see it on the hourly. Even if you want to see it on the hourly, you're just going to have to do something like this, okay? Zoom out very, very big to see it, right? But just zoom in. Don't try to zoom out all the time. Just zoom in. Get a regular chart. That's not a cup and handle. This movie is pretty impulsive. It's not like this, okay? It's pretty impulsive. But if I zoom out like this, it's gonna look like a cup and handle. So people basically sometimes just make it look like that's what they want to see and that's what they're going to show you, right? Sometimes, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe out there, and market most likely going to be very, very volatile over the next few days and so on. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, guys, thanks a lot, K for Liberty.